For today's session, we will focus on mathematics. Take note that I'll present a series of questions. After each question, I'll give you some time to think about your answer. You can pause the video if you need more time. Once you're ready, resume the video to see the correct answer and explanation. Today we will focus on arithmetic, pre-algebra, and algebra. Now let's start. Evaluate 6 times 6 minus 6 plus 6 divided by 6. The answer is D, 31. Using GEMDAS, multiply 6 times 6 first to get 36, then divide 6 by 6 to get 1. Perform addition or subtraction from left to right. So 36 minus 6 plus 1 equals 31. There was a 40% increase in attendance for this month. What is the ratio of attendance from the previous month to this month? The answer is D, 5:7. We can denote the ratio of attendance from the previous month to this month as 1:1 if they have the same number. However, since the attendance increases by 40% from the previous month, we can write this in ratio form as 1:1 plus 40%, or 1:1.4. Multiplying by 10 to remove the decimal, the ratio will become 10:14 or 5:7 in lowest term. A jacket on a 15% off costs 2,125 pesos. How much is its original price? The answer is B, 2,500. To find the original price given the discounted price and the rate of discount, you can use this formula. If 9/10 times 10 raised to A times 9,000 times 10 raised to B is equal to 1 and 71/100 times 10 raised to 9, what is the value of A plus B? The answer is C, 11. The product of 9/10 and 19,000 is 171 10,000. Thus we can express the equation as 171 10,000 times 10 raised to A plus B equals 1 and 71/100 times 10 raised to 9. To solve for A plus B, we need the coefficients on both sides to be the same. So we move the decimal of 171 10,000 two places to the right so that our coefficient becomes 1 and 71/100 also. Now that we have the same coefficient for both sides, we can now compare the exponents and solve for A plus B. The Red Cross Marikina chapter has 39 members, while the Pasig chapter has 52. If 21 volunteers are members of both chapters, how many volunteers will there be when the two chapters meet together? The answer is B, 70. In set notation, where M represents Marikina, P, Pasig, and B for both, this can be expressed as M union P equals M minus B plus P minus B plus M intersection P. This means that we are to subtract both members of Marikina and Pasig chapters from both sets and just add them separately so that we don't overcount or count the members twice. Simplify the expression. The answer is A, 22x minus 8. If there are several grouping symbols, start with parentheses, then brackets, then braces. Which of the following polynomials has the lowest degree? The answer is C, m squared n cubed plus 3mn to the 9th power. To find the degree of a polynomial, for each term, find the sum of the exponents of all the variables in that term. the degree of the polynomial is the highest degree among all the individual terms. Divide this polynomial by x minus 3. The answer is a 3x squared plus 13x plus 4. We can use synthetic division to divide any polynomials by a binomial. Find the roots of this equation. The answer is a, negative 12 and 5. The roots of the equation are values that satisfy the equation. To find the roots, we have to solve for the variable. We can use factoring for this given, and equate each factor to 0 so we can solve the roots. Given the real number line below, how will you write it in an interval notation? The answer is D. In an interval notation, the shaded dot indicates that A is included in the interval. We use brackets to represent this in notation. On the other hand, a hollow or open dot indicates that B is not included. We use parenthesis to represent this in notation. When notating negative or positive infinity, we always use parenthesis. Therefore, this is how we represent this number line in an interval notation. Which of the following are parallel and perpendicular to 2x plus y cogenerd 5? The answer is A. Two lines are parallel if they have the same slope, while perpendicular lines have slopes that are negative reciprocals of each other. To find the slope, we can just express it in slope-intercept form, where m is the slope. Thus, in slope-intercept form, the equation is y quaternions negative 2x plus 5, and the slope is negative 2. Then we can just check among the choices which of them has a slope of negative 2 for parallel lines, and 1/2 for perpendicular lines. What is the sum of the first 6 terms of the sequence, 1/4, 13 over 20, 21 over 20, and so on? The answer is C, 15/2. To find the sum of an arithmetic sequence, you can use the formula, wherein n is the number of terms, a is the first term, and d is the common difference, or the difference between any two consecutive terms in the sequence. In this given, the common difference is 21 over 20 minus 13 over 20, or 2/5 in lowest term. What is the sum of the infinite geometric sequence, 1 1/3, 1/9, and so on? The answer is B, 3/2. To find the sum of an infinite geometric sequence, we use this formula, where a is the first term and r is the common ratio, calculated by dividing one term by the preceding term. In this given, the common ratio is 1/3 divided by 1, or 1/3. The sum of the digits of a two-digit number is 9. When the digits are reversed, the resulting number is 9 less than thrice the original number. What is the original number? The answer is B, 27. Digit word problems often involve finding the digits of a number that meet certain conditions. These problems can be solved using systems of linear equations. Here's how you can set up and solve this kind of problem. Represent the tens digit as 10x and the ones digit as y. Then translate the conditions given in the problem into algebraic equations. Use methods such as substitution or elimination to find the values of the variables. Malloy can paint a house in 6 hours, while Mika can paint the same house in 9 hours. Working together, how long will it take Malloy and Mika to paint the house? The answer is D, 3.6 hours. When solving work problems using systems of linear equations, rates of work are expressed as fractions of the work per unit of time. If a person or machine can complete a task in t hours, the work rate is expressed as 1 over t. We can equate the total work done by combining the rates of all participants to complete the task. Then use the relationship, work equals rate times time, to set up equations. It would take 8 minutes for a faucet to fill a bathtub. On the other hand, it would take 12 minutes for a drain to empty the same bathtub. If both faucet and drain are left open, how long will it take for the faucet to fill the bathtub? The answer is C, 24 minutes. Solving faucet and drain word problems using systems of linear equations involves understanding the rates at which the faucet fills and the drain empties a container. But instead of adding the work rates, we get the difference between the filling rate and the draining rate. Jenny and Rose can make a bundle of bracelets in 30 minutes. Jenny can do the job alone for 120 minutes. How long would it take for Rose to finish the job alone? The answer is B, 40 minutes. This should be easier since we are given the combined work rate and Jenny's work rate, while we are only asked to find Rose's work rate. If we subtract Jenny's work rate from the combined work rate, then we can solve for Rose's work rate and eventually find for the time it takes for Rose to do the work. Marco is 26 years old while his daughter is 4. How many years will Marco's age be twice that of her daughter? The answer is D, 18 years. Solving age problems using systems of linear equations involves setting up equations based on the relationships between the ages of different people at various times, past, present, or future. What are the vertical, horizontal, and oblique asymptotes, if there are any, of this given function? The answer is letter B. The vertical asymptote can be found by solving for the values that will make the function undefined. To make the function undefined, the denominator should be equal to 0. The horizontal asymptote depends on the degree of the numerator and the denominator. Read further for the condition on the horizontal asymptote. The oblique asymptote only occurs when the degree of the numerator is 1 more than the degree of the denominator. To find the oblique asymptote, we just divide the rational function while ignoring the remainder.
Thank you again for watching. Hope you learned something from this video. If you do, kindly give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get more lessons in mathematics for senior high.